Hi, Grigsby Gators. It's me, Mrs. Wilder, again. I didn't say it earlier today, but it is Thursday, April 16th. And here we go with chapters 19 and 20 of Morning Book Club with Mrs. Wilder. Here we go, chapter 19 of Because of Winn-Dixie. In the morning, me and Winn-Dixie went down to sweep the pet store, and I took a litmus lozenge for Otis. Is it Halloween? Otis asked when I handed him the candy. No, I said. Why? Well, you're giving me candy. It's just a gift, I told him, for today. Oh, said Otis. He unwrapped the litmus lozenge and put it in his mouth, and after a minute, tears started rolling down his face. Thank you, he said. Do you like it? I asked him. He nodded his head. It tastes good, but it also tastes a little like being in jail. Gertrude squawked. She picked up the litmus lozenge wrapper in her beak and then dropped it and looked around. Gertrude, she screamed again. You can't have any, I told her. It's not for birds. Then real quick, before I lost my nerve, I said, Otis, what were you in jail for? Are you a murderer? No, ma'am, he said. Are you a burglar? No, ma'am, Otis said again. He sucked on his candy and stared down at his pointy-toed boots. You don't have to tell me, I said. I was just wondering. I ain't a dangerous man, Otis said, if that's what you're thinking. I'm lonely, but I ain't dangerous. Okay, I said, and I went into the back room to get my broom. When I came out, Otis was standing where I left him, still staring down at his feet. It was on account of the music, he said. What was? I asked. Why, I went to jail. It was on account of music. What happened? I wouldn't stop playing my guitar. Used to be I played it on the street and sometimes people would give me money. I didn't do it for the money. I did it because the music is better if someone is listening to it. Anyway, the police came and they told me to stop it. They said how I was breaking the law, and the whole time they were talking to me, I went right on playing my music, and that made them mad. They tried to put handcuffs on me, he sighed. I didn't like that. I wouldn't have been able to play my guitar with them things on. And then what happened, I asked. I hit them, he whispered. You hit the police? Uh-huh. One of them, I knocked him out. Then I went to jail, and they locked me up and wouldn't let me have my guitar. And when they finally let me out, they made me promise I would never play my guitar on the street again. He looked up at me real quick and then back down at his boots. And I don't. I only play it in here for the animals. Gertrude, the human Gertrude, she owns the shop, and she gave me this job when she read about me in the paper, and she said it's all right for me to play music for the animals. You play your music for me and Winn-Dixie and Sweetie Pie, I said. Yeah, he agreed, but you ain't on the street. Thank you for telling me about it, Otis, I said. It's all right, he said. I don't mind. Sweetie Pie came in, and I gave her a litmus lozenge, and she spit it right out. She said that it tasted bad. She said that it tasted like not having a dog. I swept the floor real slow that day. I wanted to keep Otis company. I didn't want him to be lonely. Sometimes it seemed like everybody in the world was lonely. I thought about my mama. Thinking about her was the same as the hole you keep on filling with your tongue after you lose a tooth. Time after time, my mind kept going to that empty spot, the spot where I felt like she should be. Okay, that's chapter 19. Now let's go on to chapter 20. When I told Gloria Dump about Otis and how he got arrested, she laughed so hard she had to grab hold of her false teeth so they didn't fall out of her mouth. Woo-wee, she said when she was finally done laughing. That sure is some dangerous criminal. He's a lonely man, I told her. He just wants to play his music for somebody. Gloria wiped her eyes with the hem of her dress. I know it, sugar, she said, but sometimes things are so sad they get to be funny. You know what else? I said, still thinking about sad things. That girl I told you about, the pinch-faced one, Amanda, well, her brother drowned last year. He was only 5 years old, the same age as Sweetie Pie Thomas. Gloria stopped smiling. She nodded her head. I remember hearing about that, she said. I remember hearing about a little drowned boy. That's why Amanda is so pinch-faced, I said. She misses her brother. Most likely, Gloria agreed. Do you think everybody misses somebody like I miss my mama? Mm-hmm, said Gloria. She closed her eyes. I believe sometimes that the whole world has an aching heart. I couldn't stand to think about sad things that couldn't be helped anymore, so I said, "Do you want to hear some more Gone with the Wind?" "Yes, indeed," said Gloria. "I've been looking forward to it all day. Let's see what Miss Scarlet is up to now." I opened up Gone with the Wind and started to read, but the whole time I was thinking about Otis, worrying about him not being allowed to play his guitar for people. In the book, Scarlet was looking forward to going to a big barbecue where there was going to be music and food. That's how I got the idea. "That's what we need to do," I said. I slammed the book shut. Winn-Dixie's head shot up from underneath Gloria's chair. He looked around all nervous like, "Huh?" said Gloria. "Have a party," I told her. "We need to have a party and invite Miss Franny Block and the preacher and Otis can play his guitar for everybody. Sweetie Pie can come too. She listens to his music good." "We? Who?" Gloria asked. "We, me and you. We can make some food and have the party right here in your yard." Said Gloria Dump. "We can make peanut butter sandwiches and cut them in triangles to make them look fancy." "Lord," said Gloria Dump, "I don't know if the whole world likes peanut butter as much as you and me and this dog." "Okay then," I said, "we can make egg salad sandwiches. Adults like those." "You know how to make egg salad?" "No, ma'am," I said. "I don't have a mama around to teach me things like that, but I bet you know. I bet you could teach me, please." "Maybe," said Miss Gloria Dump. She put her hand on Winn-Dixie's head. She smiled at me. I knew she was telling me yes. "Thank you," I said. I went over and hugged her. I squeezed her hard. Winn-Dixie wagged his tail and tried to get in between the two of us. He couldn't stand being left out of anything. "It's going to be the best party ever," I told Gloria. "You got to make me one promise, though," Gloria said. "All right," I told her. "You got to invite them Dewberry Boys." "Dunlap and Stevie?" "Mm-hmm. Ain't going to be no party unless you invite them." "I have to?" "Yes," said Gloria Dump. "You promise me." "I promise," I said. "I don't like the idea, but I promised." I started inviting people right away. I asked the preacher first. "Daddy," I said. "Opal," the preacher said back. "Daddy, me and Winn-Dixie and Gloria Dump are having a party." "Well," said the preacher, "that's nice. You have a good time." "Daddy," I said, "I'm telling you because you're invited." "Oh," said the preacher. He rubbed his nose. "I see." "Can you come?" I asked him. He sighed. "I don't see why not," he said. Miss Franny Block took to the idea right away. "A party," she said and clapped her hands together. "Yes, ma'am," I told her. "It will be kind of like the barbecue at 12 Oaks in Gone with the Wind, only it's not going to be as many people, and we're going to serve egg salad sandwiches instead of barbecue." "That sounds lovely," Miss Franny said, and then she pointed at the back of the library and whispered, "Maybe you should ask Amanda, too." "She probably won't want to come," I said. "She doesn't like me very much." "Ask her and see what she says," Miss Franny whispered. So I walked to the back of the library and I asked Amanda Wilkinson in my best manners voice to please come to my party. She looked around all nervous and stuff. "A party?" she said. "Yes," I said. "I sure would like it if you would come." She stared at me with her mouth open. "Okay," she said after a minute. "I mean, yes, thank you. I would love to." And just like I promised Gloria, I asked the Dewberry Boys. "I ain't going to no party at a witch's house," Stevie said. Dunlap knocked Stevie with his elbow. "We'll come," he said. "We will not," said Stevie. "That witch might cook us up in her big old witch's pot." "I don't care if you come or not," I told them. "I'm just asking because I promised I would." "We'll be there," said Dunlap, and he nodded at me and smiled. Sweetie Pie was very excited when I invited her. "What's the theme?" she asked. "Well, there isn't one," I said. You got to think of a theme," she told me. She stuck her knuckle in her mouth and then pulled it back out. "It ain't a party without a theme. Is this dog coming?" she asked. She wrapped her arms around Winn-Dixie and squeezed him so hard that her eyes almost popped out of his head. "Yes," I told her. "Good," she said. "You could make that the theme. It could be a dog party." "I'll think about it," I told her. The last person I asked was Otis. I told him all about the party and that he was invited, and he said, "No, thank you." "Why not?" I asked. "I don't like parties," said Otis. "Please," I begged, "it won't be a party unless you come. I'll give you a whole free week of sweeping and arranging and dusting. If you come to the party, that's what I'll do. A whole week for free? Otis said, looking up at me. Yes, sir, I told him. But I don't have to talk to people, right? No, sir, I said, you don't. But bring your guitar. Maybe you could play us some music. Maybe, said Otis. He looked down at his boots again real quick, trying to hide his smile. Thank you, I told him. Thank you for deciding to come. So those are chapters 19 and 20 of Because of Winn-Dixie. Oops. All right, that's a little better. And we will continue with this book next week, and it looks like we will finish this book next week. Okay, Grigsby Gator, thank you for coming to the Morning Book Club with Mrs. Wilder. And we'll read some more chapters on Monday. Have a good day. Bye-bye.